Capitol Hill. Then they'll get in the motorcade and begin the parade down Pennsylvania Avenue. You'll see the president walking down these steps. That's where the military review will take place. He will salute the men and women of the United States military. Totally appropriate. I want to preview the parade because I'm excited myself, thinking about the marching bands, thinking about the floats. Aaron Burnett is right in the middle of it. Aaron, tell us what we're about to see.
Yeah, you know what, Wolf? There have been people waiting here. I was just talking to our photojournalist who was saying when he showed up this morning at 4:30 in the morning, there were already people who said they'd been here since 2:30 in the morning waiting at the security perimeter to get in. And obviously, Wolf, the reason is they're going to be very, very close to the president. They're all hoping that they get out and walk right around here on Pennsylvania Avenue at Freedom Plaza where we are. But we will see. But people are getting excited because obviously it's going to be happening pretty darn soon. Back to you.
Very soon, indeed. And I just, myself, I was up on Capitol Hill. Kate Baldwin and I were up there. Kate, we drove down. We had a special escorted bus, a bunch of journalists.
We had our own float.
We were allowed to go down. We saw the parade route the way the president
we
will
did.
see and you were waving a little bit to folks along both sides.
I was waving. They did not know why I was waving at them. However, no, I didn't actually expect that we would actually go along
I was waving a little bit.
Well, people know you. People
let's
still
go to Robin Beach. She's right in the middle of what's going on. Robin, where are you?
So I'm at Pennsylvania Avenue and 7th, yes. And I'm with Ann Gerald and Alicia, and they're from Vermont.
They had Alice in Wonderland. We liked the hats because they were like celebration hats, the top hats, and Abraham Lincoln. And we decided to put our famous buttons on there for President Obama.
So just like his speech, you guys also drew a line between Abraham Lincoln and your hats, and now the parade hats. All right, so back to you guys.
Lovely hats. And Robin, I like your hat. What do you think of Robin's hat?
I think Robin's hat is beautiful.
You got a great hat too, Robin. Don't go too far away. All right, so Kate, describe a little bit, and I'll describe also what it was like to drive down Pennsylvania Avenue on this historic day.
I think we were probably one of the first large vehicles to come through, so people were actually quite excited, waving throngs and throngs of people. You saw American flags, you saw just old, young. It was really, really neat to see, and it felt for a moment like we were really special.
And if we didn't, we were special because we had that police escort. We had to get here. They did it for a bunch of journalists to move us from Capitol Hill here to the White House. Right behind us.
Right behind
the
us.
reviewing stand on the north lawn of the White House, and the White House right behind that. The president is going to be literally right behind us with the First Lady, the daughters. They're going to be watching.
All of these people have been waiting here as well for a very long time. They've been. It almost feels like we're at a sporting event because I think I saw some people doing the wave. They're now doing cheers. I mean, they're all just trying to pump themselves up as well.
People are excited here. They're getting very excited. But we walked in. Jeffrey Toobin has been here for a while as well. Jeffrey, you know, as you take a look at this situation, you appreciate what's going on.
Absolutely. Who first got out of his car and started walking.
He walked the whole way.
Right.
He didn't get out of it. He just walked from Capitol Hill with Rosalind Carter, and they walked from Capitol Hill all the way to the White House.
Now, no one has done that since, but they have all, I believe with the exception of George W. Bush in 2001 when the weather was very bad, they all get out and walk. And it really is a chance to see the president, for people out here, at a pretty close level. It does make the security people somewhat nervous because even though Pennsylvania Avenue is a wide street, it's not that wide. And so if you're at the curb, you can see him very closely.
Christy Paul is right in the middle of what's going on. Christy, where are you?
Okay.
Coast Guard.
Okay.
These are the joy.
Hey, Christy, if you can hear me, where are you?
All right, well, hey, I want to tell you about something that we noticed here. If you take a look down at not just security, as we've been talking about, but the 5 branches of the military have representatives that are out here from 9 o'clock in the morning until this parade will finish, and they do rotate. But with us is Captain Udine. Captain, thank you so much for being here. This has got to be such an honor, and we should point out that you're not here to be part of security, right?
Correct, ma'am. We're simply here to pay respect to the President of the United States.
So what is it like to stand out here? Tell me about the honor and how you're chosen.
Oh, for each of the service members, we're actually volunteering to do this, so it's definitely an honor for each and every single one of us doing this because we don't get the privilege of doing this every 4 years because our assignments are so short. So those of us that are able to be here, it's definitely an honor to see the President of the United States honor him and being reelected as our Commander-in-Chief.
And when he comes down, what do you do?
When he comes down, we're going to be coming to position of attention and rendering a hand salute for the President of the United States.
And you rotate how often?
We're rotating every 20 to 30 minutes for each service member so they can warm up and attend. It is out now, so we're very excited about it.
Oh, Captain Udine, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for your service to you and to all of the service members out here. Again, they're interspersed, as you see, with all the security detail that's out here as well. But all of the service members here are from the D.C. area. And I know you can hear the music there, too. The announcer has been getting everybody here ready for the last probably half hour. He started at one end, and the crowd's here because we're toward the end of the parade route. We can see the presidential area where the president and Mrs. Obama, First Lady, are going to stop with the vice president, and they're going to be sitting right down, probably about 50 yards from us. But they've all been doing the wave because they're all the crowds here are saying, hey, we're going to be the loudest. So the announcer's been egging everybody on. You just happened to catch us at a time when they stopped, but that's okay because if they had kept going, you wouldn't be able to hear me anyway, Wolf.
We would hear you because you got a good, strong microphone over there. We're sitting right across from that reviewing stand. We're anxious to see the president and the first lady. They'll show up here. We'll see what's going on together with them. Don Lemon is right in the middle of the action as well. Don, where are you?
You see me, Wolf? I'm waving at you. There's a gym way on the other side of the street on the balcony of the museum. I'm on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue. Hey, everybody, wave to Wolf Blitzer. Say hello. Say hi, Wolf. Wolf, I had people here from Stone Mountain near me where I live in Atlanta. Say hi.
Hello.
How long have you been here?
Since Saturday.
Since Saturday. You enjoying it?
I am.
The weather turned out to be warmer than you
It
thought,
did.
right?
I brought it from the South.
And you're from my hometown?
That's right. Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I got some folks here from St. Louis. St. Louis in the house. This is such a cool, Mississippi's in the house as well, such a cool shot, Wolf, that we have here from the museum. We can basically go all the way up and down Pennsylvania Avenue. The Capitol's that way. The entire parade route is 1.5 miles that goes that way. And this is Sante and Thurman. Turn this way towards the camera so they can see you. You guys have been here. You're from LA.
Yes.
And you've been here
Since Saturday.
Yeah. How long have you been out here?
Since at least 12:30.
So are you hoping the president and the first lady will get out
Of
right
course.
here? Yeah.
Of course.
Are you going to try to shake their hands?
I'll take a head nod or anything I can get.
Yeah. Are you a woman of fashion as well, like the first lady?
Not as fashionable as she is. She's amazing.
What did you think of her outfit?
Oh my gosh, it was totally amazing.
And the bangs?
The bangs are it.
Yeah.
2013 style of the year.
Can you believe how big the girls are? I mean, they are so tall now. We've watched them grow up.
Getting big.
Yeah, getting big.
Very proud of them.
Yeah. So where are you guys from?
Boston, Massachusetts.
We're all over. Thank you guys. It's so loud out here, but Wolf, I'm going to walk over here behind the tree, so I'm going to be out of range for a little bit. But listen, again, this goes all the way down. Last time, 4 years ago, they got out a little bit further down, closer to Freedom Plaza to where you are. But right here, when they got towards the museum, the crowds were really loud, and they were egging them on to get out of the car, to get out of the limo. They didn't. There's a reviewing stand over here as we make our way down. Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you. Where are you from?
Washington, D.C., 10 blocks from the White House.
10 blocks. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And we have members, too, of our armed forces who are out here. Again, another reviewing stand right here, Wolf. It's so loud I can't hear the director, but I think you guys are saying toss back to you. But we will be here. We are hoping that the President and the First Lady will get out here. And if they do, we'll be here, Wolf. Back to you.
Don Lemon, he's got a lot of friends over there on Pennsylvania Avenue near the museum. You see the Vice President, Dr. Jill Biden. They're going through the rotunda now. They'll be going outside together with the President, the First Lady, the Speaker, the Majority Leader, the Minority Leaders as well. They're going to be walking down those stairs, and they're going to be reviewing the troops. In effect, saluting the troops, saying thank you so much for everything the men and women of the United States military do. This is the last official act, Jeffrey Toobin, that the President and the First Lady will do before they get into the motorcade, the presidential limo, to take them on that route down Pennsylvania Avenue from the Capitol all the way over to the White House. And for those people who know Washington, they're going to go down Pennsylvania Avenue. They'll make a right turn at 15th Street. They'll go up 15th Street, then make a left They'll come up to where we are right here, this reviewing stand here on the north lawn of the White House.
You know, when President Kennedy made this trip in 1961, he was so appalled by the conditions along the way, that the buildings were falling down. He actually said, we have to get this area improved, and it took a long time. Daniel Patrick Moynihan was later the senator from New York. He was responsible for trying to revive Pennsylvania Avenue, and it is so different and so much improved than it was much earlier. But it was an inaugural parade that had very significant effect.
Here they come, the President and the First Lady. They're pretty happy right now. They're going through Statuary Hall. They're going to be walking down the stairs, saluting the men and women of the United States military. And as they do that, let's remember, Kate, that there are still almost 70,000, about 65,000 U.S. troops still serving in Afghanistan right now. All U.S. troops are out of Iraq, but there are still about 65,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan, all of them in harm's way. All U.S. troops are supposed to be out of Afghanistan by the end of 2014. Maybe they could accelerate that withdrawal a little bit. But as the President and the First Lady, they go down these stairs, let's remember those men and women who remain in harm's way in Afghanistan and elsewhere around the world. There's still a lot of serious issues throughout North Africa, the Middle East, in Asia. Still about 30,000 U.S. troops along the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, between North and South Korea as well. And so let's not forget those troops as we watch what's going on.
We're reminded of it almost every day as we see in the headlines that we cover of what a dangerous world this is and how our troops are protecting us. As we're awaiting the president and the First Lady, as well as Joe Biden, the Vice President, Dr. Biden, to review the military and then get into their cars to start the fun, as we like to say. Jeffrey, I wanted to ask you your thoughts on the oath this time around.
You know, it was Chief Justice fondest hope. He's not the story today. It was a flawless performance on his part.
They did a really good job. Anderson, they're going to be moving down Pennsylvania Avenue toward you guys. You might even be able to look to your right a little bit, and you might see the parade, the floats, the bands, and the president going out.
That's right. And our Dana Bash is with Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta while President Obama is about to review the troops. Let's actually take a look and just listen.
pipe and drum. Let's go to Dana. She's got a very, very special guest, an appropriate one right now. Dana?
This is one of those cases where it's better to be lucky than good, and we do have the Secretary of Defense right now with us as we are watching the Commander-in-Chief review the troops. You are the departing Defense Secretary, but you obviously have a front row seat to the President's relationship with those people who he's honoring right now.
He's really had a terrific relationship with the military. He's been very supportive. His wife, of course, and Jill Biden have been very supportive of benefits for our wounded warriors and for their families. And because of that, I think the troops really have a very high regard for him. And it's important because, frankly, these young men and women have to go into battle, put their lives on the line, and to have the President of the United States be able to back you 100%, you can't beat that.
This is the beginning of the President's second term. You are leaving. What do you hope to see in the second term from afar, from your winery in Northern California?
Well, I think it's really important that they provide some budget certainty here. We're going through, obviously, deficit reduction. It's important that defense play its role. But we fashioned a strategy that protects the United States as the strongest military power on earth. If the Congress allows the sequester to go in, or if these budget cuts impact, I think that'll do incredible damage to our defense.
And real quick, one of the first official acts that the President did in his second term was to officially nominate your successor, Chuck Hagel. It's pretty controversial up here. It looks like he'll get through. But do you feel that some of the criticism is warranted?
No, I know Chuck Hagel, and I'm very confident that, first of all, he'll win confirmation. And he'll get some tough questions, but there's no question in my mind he'll be able to handle it. That's what Secretary of Defenses have to do.
Okay, thank you. And the mood in there, was it pretty good in the lunch?
Great. It was a great mood.
Okay, thank you for stopping.
Thank
Good luck
you.
to you. Back to you, Wolf.
Thanks very much, the President and the First Lady, the Vice President, the Second Lady. They have wrapped up their review of the troops, a nice gesture to wrap up an historic day up on Capitol Hill. They're now in the presidential limos. The motorcade is getting ready to leave to depart Capitol Hill, and this will be the official start of the parade. They will go down Pennsylvania Avenue. They'll drive for a little while, but at some point they will stop. They will get out. We are told the crowds will go crazy. They have been waiting for hours and hours on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue. Security is intense, obviously, for good reasons. But this is one of the most exciting moments. And, Kate, as we get ready to see the start of this parade, you've been doing a lot of research on the floats and the marching bands. Give us a little preview. I am so excited because I know that the floats especially are going to be great.
The floats are going to be fabulous. And there are some 8,800 people that are going to be involved with this parade. Also, you might want to know, some 200 animals involved with the parade. Really?
What kind of animals?
Like horses and stuff
my
research did not go that far. But stand by, it's a surprise.
Yeah, all right, good.
We also have 8 official inaugural floats that include honoring the home states of both the Obamas as well as the Bidens. So we will see those, and those will be very great.
That would be Hawaii and Illinois and Delaware, among others.
Exactly, among others. So we're waiting for those. 59 groups, marching bands galore that we're going to be looking for. So there's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a celebration. And some odd numbers that I have here. 41 is the number of unicyclists we will be seeing in the parade today.
Wow. Anderson, I don't know about you, but yesterday we had a preview of the Grambling State University marching band. They were playing with you and with me right over there in the National Mall. They're going to be playing for the entire world momentarily as this parade gets underway.
That's right. They're actually the lead band in the parade. It's their third time in an inaugural parade to lead it off. It's Grambling State, of course, is from central Louisiana. So a lot of folks in Louisiana are going to be very excited to hear that. Jessica Yellen, you and I were talking before about the movie Lincoln and the impact that has had on President Obama. I think a lot of people don't realize the extent to which he has been quoting it around the White House.
It's true, Anderson. He has said that Abraham Lincoln is his favorite president, but since this movie has come out and he screened it in the White House movie theater, he's been quoting not just Abraham Lincoln himself, but actually lines from the movie. And in jest, I should say, he's doing it somewhat ironically. But the reason he likes Lincoln so much is because Lincoln is sort of the ultimate fighter, the president who unified a nation during a time of incredible division. And so all presidents look to him as the one who persevered through the worst. So no one wants to compare themselves to him because it would not be humble. So they're always careful to say they don't. But, they like to quote him. And so President Obama, I'm told, has been quoting him a lot, and especially Daniel Day-Lewis. And Daniel Day-Lewis was there at a dinner in the residence with a lot of the cast.
So this is going to be very exciting for all the people who have been on the National Mall, who now have gone to the parade ground. We see the president approaching, starting the parade route. The first family, of course, will take their seats and then watch as the rest of the parade goes by.
And this is the pivot point of the day. Now we go to celebration. We have a parade that is a celebration for the president and the vice president, but also for the country. You mentioned the variety, the diversity of the floats and the bands and others who will participate in the parade. Then you have the balls tonight. So we're pivoting now to the celebration which the country deserves and which the winners of the election, the president and the vice president, very much deserve. A big question in my mind is that what we've seen in the last few hours is this spirit of friendliness and cooperation, and all the right things were said. Let's circle back in a week or three and just see, even if on a few things, they can sustain it and show, we're going to fight over this, but we made some progress here. We're going to fight over that, but we made some progress here. The trust deficit, Margaret spoke about it earlier, that's the biggest deficit in town. You can't solve the financial problems, the financial deficits, until they solve the trust deficit. And maybe it's hopeful idealism, but maybe they made a small down payment today.
And I was also thinking, as I was watching the president review the troops, you heard Leon Panetta talk about the First Lady and Jill Biden and how much they've done for the troops and their families. But I'm also thinking, coming into this next phase, this is going to be a president that could have some difficult relationships with generals. He's always been concerned about the generals and not being overtaken by them, and he has spoken an awful lot about that, as presidents have to make their own decisions, not be led too much by the generals. I think the nomination of Chuck Hagel is somebody who was a sergeant, whom he believes comes at the Pentagon from the view of the bottom of the ladder, not at the top of the ladder. And so I think you're going to have some real issues.
General Stanley McChrystal wrote about that actually in his new book. He talked about kind of the deficit of trust they had early on in the administration. Let's go back to Wolf, who's waiting down by the White House, down by the parade grounds. Wolf?
You can see the presidential limo, Anderson, just beginning to move slowly. You see the Secret Service van right behind that presidential limo. There obviously is very tight security. The vice president is there, and the president, the first lady. They are being accompanied by what's initially called the presidential escort. These are the parade's performing groups organized into 5 divisions, each led by one branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, the Army, the Marine Corps, the Navy, the Air Force, and yes, the Coast Guard as well, even though the Coast Guard is part of the Department of Homeland Security, not the part of the Department of Defense. It is one of the 5 branches of the U.S. Armed Forces as it is considered on this day. In addition to these 5 armed forces, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard, there will also be representatives of the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police. They will be participating in this presidential escort, as it's called, as this parade begins. They've got to line up everyone. They've got to get everybody going, Kate, to make sure that they're all ready to go, because once they start moving, they don't want to have to stop again.
There's really no stopping that they want to do.
Right. They don't want to stop. They want to keep on going. So they're just lining everyone up, and it's all extremely well coordinated. Division 1 begins with the United States Army. Then they go on to the Color Guard, various National Guard units. But then there's a marching band from the Panoa High School marching band. That would be in Honolulu, Hawaii.
That would be in Honolulu, Hawaii. That is where the high school, the school that President Obama graduated from in 1979. So there is a lot of, this is all planned down to the very person and the very float, I can assure you. And everyone, though, awaiting to see where and when and whether President Obama and possibly the First Lady will be getting out of that limo. You know, of course, that is the moment when the Secret Service all hold their breath.
Yeah, everybody gets a little nervous for good reasons. And that's why, Jeffrey Toobin, there has been such incredible security as we get ready for this.
See right there, look at that.
You see the police over there. They're lined up. They're going to be, what a show of force that presidential escort, Jeffrey, is very, very impressive.
And of course, things changed after 9/11. That the security in Washington is so dramatically different from when you first came here. When I first started visiting Washington, the post 9/11 security is of a completely different order of magnitude. All those people we will see along the route pass through metal detectors to be allowed to stand where they are. So it's not like this is just some random crowds on the street. There are no reserved seats along most of the ways, but
as we watch this all begin. So it's looking right now, it's moving very slowly, but for good reason. Everyone wants a chance to wave at the first family.
I like the Secret Service guys who walk as the motorcade moves. These guys are they're in excellent shape, I got to tell you. They're excellent condition, because sometimes that car begins to move a little bit more quickly, so they start running a little bit. By the way, you see in front of the presidential limo, you see some photographers. Those are some journalists. They have unique access, so we're going to be able to.
And they themselves have quite a setup.
All right, as we watch this parade begin, and the police escort, the military escort, just getting underway. It's all very choreographed. Dana Bash has got another special guest with her. Dana?
That's right. The Majority Leader of the House, Eric Cantor, thank you very much. You not only are the Majority Leader in the House, but you also were a co-chair of the Joint Inaugural Committee. So you're very much involved in the process here. You had a front row seat. Let's just start with your partisan reaction, frankly. What did you think of the speech?
Look, I mean, today is a day for all of us in this country to come together. It was the swearing in, the inaugural of our Commander-in-Chief. And, it really doesn't matter who you voted for, which side you're on. Today is a day we can all come together. And I think that the President's speech was one that spoke to some of the aspirations that he has for this country. I think many of us share in what he spoke about, which is trying to help folks who haven't necessarily benefited from upward mobility in the past.
Now, you are being very generous. I think that this is traditionally a nonpartisan day, but some Republicans out there in the Twitterverse are saying that they thought that the president's inaugural address was too aggressive, too overly partisan, too liberal.
I think that the president did a fine job, certainly laying out what he would like to see happen as far as the future of the country. There are plenty of areas of disagreement, but there are also some things fundamentally we agree on. This country is one of opportunity, and sort of the way we get there to help everybody. There are some differences. Hopefully, we can bridge those differences.
Okay, you're our fly on the wall for two behind-the-scenes moments I want to ask you about. First, right over there, the Martin Luther King statue. The president was talking about some things. What was he saying?
Well, first of all, he said it was the first time that he had ever seen the statue and stopped. And obviously, today is also Martin Luther King Day. Very symbolic, given it is the inaugural for Barack Obama as well. But I think it was just recognition there of the importance that Martin Luther King has played, not only for the African American community in this country, but for all of us.
And then the lunch that you helped put on. For 45 minutes, we couldn't see it. It went dark. You were inside. What happened?
It's a very nice lunch, and it is really a continuum of the spirit of the day where both sides come together. There's bipartisan representation at the tables. There's legislative branch, judicial branch, executive branch, all sharing tables. And just nothing but good. Hopefully that kind of cooperative spirit can continue.
And last 4 years ago, the president accused of not socializing didn't eat. We heard that he socialized all the time. Did he eat or socialize?
Yes, and I think one even sort of indicated that he was the one for the delay in the program because he went to every table and shook every hand.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, maybe it's a new day. We'll see. We'll see for both parties. Parties. Back to you, Wolf.
Ask him, Dana, if he can't hear
Yes.
me. Ask him how long this goodwill is going to last.
Wolf wants to know how long the goodwill is going to last.
Right. I said you and I both, Dana would say to Wolf, we hope that this lasts and then that we can focus on solutions, bridging differences, setting aside differences, and trying to focus on what we have in common as Americans.
There you go. There's your answer, Wolf.
Sounds good to me. Let's see if they can do that. If they can, that would be encouraging to everyone in the country. Thank the Majority Leader from all of us. All right, here's the presidential limo. You can see it just beginning slowly, very, very slowly to move. It's not moving quickly for a simple reason. They've got to get everyone organized behind they're really want to make sure that everything is well coordinated. They've been rehearsing this, they've been practicing it, and there's a lot of choreography. Don Lemon, where are you? Because you got a good seat over there.
I do. I'm actually again right in front of the museum, and we just saw the motorcycle officers come in front of us, and now we're just starting to see the color guard and then the military band. And it's really just sort of the warm-up. The people here are getting really excited because they're anticipating, of course, the President and the First Lady to come by in the motorcade. So it's moving really slow, Wolf, but people are patient. But they are anticipating, again, the President and the First Lady to come by, and every once in a while you get a big roar and a big cheer that goes up when they see a black limo or they see an SUV and they think it's the President and the First Lady. But again, the military band coming by now, the ceremonial guard, you can hear the announcement in the background coming by. I'm standing by with two little friends here, a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old, right here in front of the barricade. And we're waiting. You guys are excited?
He's 9.
He's 9.
I'm 8.
And they're from Georgia, and they're correcting me. They're a lot smarter than me today, and we're all waiting. So we're standing by, Wolf, just like you guys are.
Yeah, they're moving slowly, Don. They'll get to you pretty soon. You're at the museum, so that's at 6th in Pennsylvania. They're just getting ready to move a little bit of 1st and 2nd. So you got a little while to go. They're going to pass the Canadian Embassy before they reach you. You know what? Our own Jim Acosta has got an unbelievable view of what's going on. Jim, tell our viewers exactly where you are.
Wolf, I'm on Constitution Avenue right now, just before we make that turn onto Pennsylvania Avenue, and you can just see some of the folks who are lined up along this parade route. They're very excited, obviously, not only to see the president, but they're also waving to our truck as well. But just to give our viewers a sense of what's happening right now, I'm on the back of a flatbed truck along with the other representatives of the national news media, and we're going to basically do what's called the dance. We're all going to take turns getting in front of the president's limo, getting that shot of the president and Mrs. Obama, should they get out of their limo at some point and walk down this parade route. We all hope that they will. We'll be in position to bring that to you. And just to pick up on what we were talking about earlier today about the parade and everything that goes into the makings of this parade, I was talking to the longtime announcer for this parade, Charlie Brotman, who said that President Obama is different when it comes to these inaugurals. His inaugural parades are from the heart, and what he meant by that is that President Obama and Mrs. Obama seem to want to bring in groups from all over the country, groups that might not have a chance to participate in an inaugural parade, and that this is their chance, almost sort of like the message that the president was talking about today, that everybody in this country gets a chance, everybody's got a shot. We're seeing some of that reflected in this parade, Wolf.
We certainly are. So you've really got a great view of what's going on. They're moving very, very slowly, aren't they, Jim? I don't know if Jim can still hear me. Maybe he can. But you see how
yes,
slowly
Wolf, I hear you.
The presidential motorcade's moving very, very slowly. You know what? Here's what I want to do. I'm going to leave the picture up during a commercial break. We'll take a quick break. You'll see the parade continue. We'll be right back. Maybe when we come back, we'll see the president, the first lady, and Sasha and Malia, if they want to. They'll get out of that limo and wave a little bit. Let's take a quick break.
Slowly up Pennsylvania Avenue, as I said, all in the hope that they will get out and walk some of the way of this parade, which is something they did years ago, I should say, back in 2009 when he was sworn in. These are special sites. DC isn't too cold today, which is good for the crowds that are out there and have been out there for many hours. But you hear all the sounds, you hear the shouts, the screams. People are in good spirits as this parade slowly makes its way up Pennsylvania Avenue to the White House. We want to take you through some of the big events in Washington on this day because, as I say, it began outside the U.S. Capitol building with the ceremonial oath of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after